Hey, what's up guys? My name is AzN3AlK0, and I'm here with a new review on the all-new FAMAE SAF. I believe that's how you call it. Anyways, this will be the month of December's mid-month drop, or whatever the new supply drop is called. But anyways, this is the new SMG. Once again, it's called the FAMAE SAF, or however you guys want to say that. FAMAE... I don't know really how else you would say it. But anyways, once again, this will be a gun review on this new SMG that Nexon has put out for 90-day and permanent duration just for today. I came home today from school and I saw it up for sale. I thought, oh, whoa, this is pretty interesting. And when I looked at its stats, it's actually quite similar to the T2. So for those of you guys who had the T2, you would know that it's a very beastly submachine gun. It used to be the most OP submachine gun. I guess now the FAMAE SAF is now, because the stats are almost exactly identical, except for the fact that the FAMAE SAF, I'll just call it the SAF from now on, it's kind of a mouthful to say every time, but the SAF has 1 point less recoil and 1 point more accuracy. So let's get right into it. Once again guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys stick around for a little while. I got many series going on at the same time, so giving you guys as much content as possible is where I stand, and having good quality and good videos is basically what I aim to achieve. So basically, let's get right into the SAF review. So just now I just mentioned that it is very similar to the T2 in terms of stats, and usually it's not the case. Well, for example, like the G3, the NX only assault rifle, and the M416 have perfectly identical stats, but they feel different. Because they're two completely different guns, even though they have complete stats or completely identical stats. However, the SAF and the T2 are very, very alike, even in its feel, I believe. Let's see. So I'm going to be comparing the SAF to the T2, which I also have permanent a lot in this video. So if you guys don't really like comparisons, I'm sorry, but it's just kind of like a good reference gun that I can base my like my opinions and basically my views on the SAF. And right here in this video, you'll see me rotate between I think like 4 gameplay videos, because each game was like too short for me to post by themselves. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the more content as I get this nice fantastic right there and I die. So the damage, let's get right into the damage. Its damage is identical to the T2 at 36 points of damage. That's actually pretty good for us, for a submachine gun. In fact, it's very good actually. I can't recall the SMG, the UMP's damage right off the top of my head, but the UMP was somewhere around that too, I believe, unless it was high 40s, which I doubt, because I don't think there's any submachine gun out there that does like high 30s or even 40s. So, but anyways, the damage is very good, and coupled with its rate of fire, which I'll talk about in a little bit, it's really, really good at close range. In fact, it dominates. I don't think there's any other submachine gun that can beat it at this moment in time. But anyways, that's its damage. Moving on to its rate of fire. Actually, no, not the rate of fire. The portability is first. My bad. The portability is at a whopping 88. That's exactly the same as the T2. And if you guys ever if you guys ever ran with a T2 at all, you know that it's very fast. And the SAF also feels very fast too. For some reason, it feels a little bit slower than a T2, in my opinion. But that's just me. Statistically, it's supposed to be identical to the T2. But then the SAF is still very fast anyway. As you can see with Victory Lap, I'm just covering really big distances like no one's business. But anyways, that's portability. It's really good. It's even faster than your default knife in most pistols too. So that's pretty amazing, even for a submachine gun. That means that you don't even have to take out your knife to run around anywhere. You can just run around with this baby and still be good at close range. So moving on to its rate of fire, its rate of fire is at a really good 90. That's freaking good for a submachine gun, even for a submachine gun, because I think the UMP is like a high damage, low rate of fire submachine gun, and even then it's got a pretty decent rate of fire. 90 is like, whoa. And you'll see me like burn through my bullets so fast. I think the SAF has one of the fastest killing times, basically DPSs. And if you guys don't know what that term is called, or what that term is, it's basically called DPS, which stands for damage per second. It's just like a measurement of how fast this weapon can kill people. But anyways, it kills people really fast. In other words, its damage and its really high rate of fire make for really fast killing times. But in exchange, because it's only got a standard magazine at 30 rounds per magazine, or yeah, 30 rounds per magazine, you'll find that getting more than 2 kills is pretty difficult, even for me. I do pull off like three per magazine streaks in this video, but I mean, sorry about that. I think the video got cut. Oh, actually, no, I got kicked from that last video. No wonder. So I apologize for that kind of brief cut off there. But anyways, basically what you need to know is that with its high damage and really high rate of fire, you can put people down like no one's business. If you guys really want to dominate at close quarters, this is your gun, just like the T2. Now let's move on to its accuracy. Its accuracy it has a very good 77. The T2 has an accuracy of 76, I believe. So it's only 1 point off, and even then the T2 is pretty accurate. Though I think that the SAF is actually more accurate than much more accurate than the T2, because you'll find that, or at least I found that the SAF was really good at mid-range, which the T2 kind of lacks. You can still reliably put people down at middle range with the SAF. I don't know if it's because of the fact that the SAF has a really big lotto factor, which I'll get into pretty soon, but I feel like I'm getting a lot more headshots or just random lottos at mid-range or longer with the SAF than I do with the T2. So I don't know if that has to do with accuracy at all, but I think it's really accurate, a lot more accurate than the T2 at least. So moving on to its recoil statistic. Its recoil statistic that Nexon gives us, that's the end of that video. We're moving on to the next one after we watch this roulette, and after we watch that guy shake his ass in front of the screen. Nexon states that its recoil is at a 63, so it's 1 point less than the T2's. They're actually pretty much the same. I guess the only difference between them would be that the SAF has a slightly different recoil pattern, and yeah, that's about it, basically. The kickback feels the same, which I'll get to in a little bit, and yeah, I don't think they're too much different, which may explain why Nexon only gave it a 1 point decrease in recoil, but I don't know if that matters a lot. It hasn't for me yet, so it feels a lot. The recoil at least feels a lot like the T2, which I'm pretty familiar with. So, yeah, that's that. Now moving on to a recoil spread. Like I said, it's pretty similar to the T2. So if you guys ever tried a T2 at all, this is what you can expect from the SAF. The SAF has a very hefty side-to-side recoil. I believe for the first 3, 4, or 5 shots, your gun will go slightly up, and then after that, if you keep spraying, then it'll go wobble from side to side pretty heftily. It's not something that you should just take lightly of, because it can throw off your aim, but if you burst fire, I don't think you'll have any trouble with that. Though with the SAF, because its accuracy is really high, I don't think you really need to burst fire that much. Maybe at like longer mid-range combat situations or something like that, but for the most part, you can just go full auto and not have to worry about it. Just don't get yourselves into like sticky situations like you versus a sniper at like 500 feet away. Now that's kind of iffy, isn't it? But anyway, it's not like you'd be doing that anyway in the first place if you're pro. Thumbs up. Anyways, that's its recoil spread. The recoil kickback. What I mean by the recoil kickback is how high your screen shakes, or how high your gun kind of shakes around in your hands, either like up to like really high up or something like that. That's basically what I mean. The recoil kickback is actually not that bad, just like the T2. It's just that the recoil pattern and the wobble is what you need to look out for most. And right here, I ran out of SAF ammo because the rate of fire on this thing is so beast that I burned through ammunition really quickly. So it's pretty uncomfortable, but I mean, with the resourceful perk, it's kind of solved a little bit, I guess. As long as my enemies always regularly drop the ammo crates. That is, if they don't, I'm kind of screwed. But anyways, moving on to its recoil controllability. Recoil controllability, because it's got such a fast rate of fire, it's pretty hard to do, in fact. Though, if you're going to spray at all and just spray and pray and hope you get a lotto or something, then you don't really need to worry about it. But for those of you guys who really care about controlling your recoil a lot, then this gun is pretty hard to do at middle range. Though you can burst fire with this, and you can control the recoil that way. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard me burp, but I just ate. I'm sorry, guys. But anyways, moving on with the next statistic. But anyways, the recoil controllability is pretty hard to do unless you just spray and pray, in which case you don't really need to worry about it. Anyways, moving on to its tap fire ability. This is a submachine gun, and actually scoped in my videos, you'll see that I have an iTech scope on. Typically, if I don't really run scopes on my submachine guns, but if I do, if I have to, or if I feel like it rather, I preferably like to put iTech scopes on it. It really helps negate the strong recoil kickback that submachine guns usually tend to have. So that's why I have it on it. And tap fire with the SAF with the iTech scope actually is pretty good. I was surprised because I managed to tap fire a lot of people at a really long range, like say on oil rig from like the rooftops from both spawns. I managed to tap fire someone from that distance, and I was actually pretty surprised. It actually puts people down reliably well. My Asian accent is coming up. So yeah, if you guys really need to tap fire, I suggest you guys go ahead and do it, because if you guys don't have any other weapon, or it's your only option, this SAF really has a tap fire option. It's not like crappy or anything. It's very good actually. So make sure you guys, I'm just making sure you guys know of it. And it looks like this video is coming to a close. I will be putting out a part 2 to this video, so hope you guys stay tuned for that. And guys, if you really like this video and you like what I do and check out my other videos, then please subscribe. I will have a lot more content for you guys within the coming weeks. Thanks guys, and look forward to part 2. Peace guys. Thanks.